and today we will be exploring some advanced strategies and technique in data scraping. And today we will discuss in our webinar about advanced methods and tools for web scraping, handling dynamic content, overcoming challenges in modern websites, ethical and legal consideration, real world applications and case studies, and in the last QA session. And I'm excited to introduce our special guest speaker who brings a wealth of experience and expertise in the field of data scraping. Let's get started and welcome Mr. Hassan to the webinar. Hassan, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
First of all, thanks for having me, and I am very excited for this webinar. Hi everyone, I am Hassan, and I have been working in software industry for past 6 years. And during this tenure, I have worked on multiple projects and technologies, but mainly on web scraping. So, over the past few years, I have specialized in data analysis, focusing on advanced techniques and tools to gather meaningful data from the websites, from the different kind of websites which we see today. And yeah, the
Thank you, Hassan. The first question is how do you define web scraping in your experience, and why is there a need of web scraping? Yes, Hassan, please.
yeah. So, in my experience, how we define the web scraping is, if we go to like 10 years ago, we see there were a lot of jobs for the data entry operators and things like that. So what they do is like they go manually on different websites and collect the data which they want and put it into the Excel sheets. So, with the passage of time, there is a new technique, we call web scraping, and this is what we called a systematic approach or a programmatical approach to collect the data in bulk from different kind of websites and save them into, different kind of formats, CSV or JSONs, which we can process later. So, yeah, the web scraping is a advanced technique to collect data from different kinds of sources available online. Yeah. So when we talk about why there is a need of web scraping, every company these days do sentiment analysis, different kinds of analysis, price analysis, and they want to know what the users are doing, or they want to know how the competitors are doing. So these things which brings the demand of web scraping. So manually gathering data from different kind of websites. Let's say if you want to do a sentiment analysis, you need a lot of customer data which is generated by the customer. So for that uh, you need a lot of data, you need a bulk of data. So for that you need web scraping will automatically collect the data from any source you have put it in, and it is a quick way to get the data and also the cheapest way to collect data in the bulk. And demand is everywhere. Like if you talk about any giant, like if we talk about Coca-Cola company, or the newest Chat GPT. Everybody knows that the Chat GPT is trained on the internet data. So how it get trained on the internet data? They did web scraping. They create their crawlers which go on every website. They create their neural networks, and through their neural networks, the whole the algorithm reads a lot of data from the internet, and that's why we see that it is able to answer questions which we ask the chat GPT. So demand is there. Every company, for example, if there is a company which is doing e-commerce, he must want to know what their competitors are doing, how they are managing the prices. So for that they need data. So data is everywhere, and data is the backbone of every company. So for that reasons, uh, most all the companies which are in the fields which directly or indirectly relate with the data do web scraping. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Hassan, coming to the next question, what are some of the common tools used for handling JavaScript rendering?
Okay, so when we talk about JavaScript rendering, with the passage of time, we have seen a lot of new technologies in the front end frameworks, or the web frameworks. So what they do is like, let me show you an example.
Yeah.
Let's take the example of rootontomatoes.com. This is a website which shows the rating of the different movies. So see here, you see, previously what you know, if we talk about the static websites, like everything was inside the HTML, and when you click the URL, I mean, when you load the URL in the browser, it just fetch that HTML with all the data inside it already, and it show to the front low end user, like the one who is using the PC. But these days, what the developers or the tech industry is doing, like they hide their data. They try to optimize the speed. For that, there is a new concept of JS rendering. So what is JS rendering is like, all this data is get filled by the Ajax calls or by the frameworks like React or Angular. So um, previously we were seeing the websites which were like filling on their own. The data was inside the template, but these days this data is coming from the backend. So if you want to see like if the website is using JS rendering or not,
Mhm.
so you can just inspect the page, okay, and see if the data is coming from the APIs or not. Like if I go to the networks tab and just reload this page, you will see there is a lot of uh, calls going on.
Yeah.
You see the data is coming in the responses like this. This is the JSON. Okay. So what is happening is here, like what first the basic DOM gets loaded, and after that the JAX calls get data from their backend, and they get filled up in this UI. So this is how the new websites these days are using JS rendering, and yeah.
Yeah. Hassan, coming to the next question, can you please explain the difference between Puppeteer and Selenium when it comes to JavaScript rendering?
Okay, so for Puppeteer or Selenium, when we talk about JavaScript websites, and in the terms of web scraping, we face difficulties like if we hit this page
Yeah.
with the simple libraries, like in Python we have request library. If we will do just a curl request to this page, you will get the HTML tags only. There will be no data inside it, because request libraries or simple, or the conventional web scraping methods cannot handle the JS rendering. So for that, to address that problem in the web scraping, people created headless browsers. And to control these headless browsers, there were different kind of libraries created. So there are two main libraries which we use these days, and one is Selenium, and other one is Puppeteer. If we talk about Selenium, Selenium is an automated browser
Yeah.
which we can use with different kind of with different kind of languages like Python, Java, because Selenium was created for we say the persons who test the codes. So in software industry we have QA, quality
Yeah.
assurance people. So this Selenium website was actually created for them to
Mhm.
create automated test cases.
Mhm.
So let's get it loaded. I think it's very slow. Mm, it's opening. Let's get. Okay, here it's open.
Yeah.
So if we go to Selenium and see its documentation, you see
Yeah.
Selenium is an umbrella project of a range of tools and libraries that enable and support the automation of web browser. So when we talk about web browser, it means that the JS rendering will be automatically get controlled because every browser is JS enabled. So if we talk about JS rendering, then there are only some ways through which you can control the JS rendering, and one of the best ways to run that request in the browser. So Selenium, what the Selenium is, Selenium is actually an automation of web browsers. So Selenium will whenever you will request you will do a request through the Selenium. You can
Mhm.
control the browser behavior with through different parameters. You can check its documentation. It's pretty clear. You can check how you can set the web browser, how you can add the weights, how you can call their API. There are a lot of things here, and actually Selenium, when we talk about Selenium, we mainly are talking about quality assurance or the automated test cases, because it was not designed with the concept of web scraping. But when we talk about Puppeteer was solely made for the web scraping. Let me open it. Puppeteer actually only works with the only works with the JavaScript libraries like Node.js. It's a Node.js library. So if you are trying to use Puppeteer, you can only use it with one languages, which is JavaScript.
Mhm.
And for the JavaScript, you use Node.js. So it's pretty clear. You can add different kind of weights. Like you can go to like this. You can go open a page in a headless mode in this Puppeteer. Then you can set the viewpoints. It's like you are just controlling this window. You can add the you know you can add different kinds of weight. You can do multiple things with it, so that you can get the data after JavaScript get rendered. Like what it will do is, like if you strike this URL, you see it takes some time. After that, the data gets filled. So what you will be doing in the Puppeteer is, like you are going to this page and you are adding some kind of weight here, and you are saying, let's say we are adding 5 seconds of weight, and telling the Puppeteer that after 5 seconds of wait, once the JS rendering get rendered, after that bring us the HTML.
Mhm.
So the HTML which we will get after that wait will include all this data which we actually want to scrap. So this is how we do JS rendering in Puppeteer and Selenium. And if we talk about their differences, then the Puppeteer is solely made for the web scraping. Yeah.
Yeah. As in the next question is, what are the headless browsers? How are they different from the one we use on our machine?
Okay. So if we talk about headless browser, let's say uh, the we just talk about Puppeteer and Selenium. So there's a very uh, common concept of headless. Like if we want to open something in the browser, you have to type here, like you are opening google.com, you will be typing the URL here, and it is showing you the UI. I was talking about, like if we want to open something or some URL in the browser, what we are doing is, like we are putting that URL in the URL bar and hitting enter, and after that we see the UI.
Mhm.
But what if we are controlling this browser processing in a process without seeing the UI? Like we are not viewing this UI, but everything, all the processes which are running in the back end or rendering the HTML is running in the backend without this interface. So this concept is called headless mode. So in the headless mode, you will not see a browser opening, but all those processes uh, like loading of the URL, JS rendering, all will be done in a in a backend processes, and those processes will be responsible to send you the HTML without showing you the UI. So this is what we called headless mode. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming to the next question, other than these libraries, how can we handle JS rendering issues?
Okay. So if we talk about JS rendering, to handle it, most of the time people use third-party APIs. Like if we are trying to implement something with the Puppeteer or Selenium, you need a developer team which will be creating a system for you, and then you are hosting that system to make it live, and then you are putting your request to that system. So that thing will cost you a lot. So what people do is like they go for the third party API solutions. So there are pretty much there are too much available on the internet. If you talk about like uh, so yeah, you see there are a lot of uh, the companies which offer these kinds of services, like there is Zenflow, we are saying that, and Scrapper APIs. There are a lot of APIs out there uh, which offer these kind of solution. But one of the best out there in the market, and the oldest one, is the crawl based crawling. The crawl based products. If you go to Crawlbase, see, if Crawlbase is a web is a company which provide web scraping solutions, and they have a lot of cool products. And for the JS rendering, if you go to their crawling API, it's one of the best solution to for rendering for solving the JS rendering issues. So if we go to their documentation, here it is. So you will see here, like
Yeah.
this API offer a lot of solutions through which you can handle any kind of web scraping problem. If you want to do the JS crawling, they offer different kind of ways. Like you can use JS token, and you can use different kind of parameters here, which you can use for for doing the JS rendering. Like you can use these page way crawl based crawling API, and you use these parameter. For example, you are using page weight parameter. Then what will it do is like it will wait for the given amount of seconds before capturing the HTML. So this way you can easily handle the JS rendering. And what best about it is about these kind of solution, or the third party API solution, is like they are cheap, and you don't have to maintain them, and they give you a lot of flexibility, and they are reliable and fast as well, because you are not going to worry about how your system will perform, like how will you manage your API calls. You just need to put this API into your system, and just you are sending the request to it, and you are using the parameter. You see, there is everything pretty much you need in the web scraping for JS rendered websites. There you will find everything here. Like if you want to do country based scraping, you can use this parameter. If there is a pagination with the scroll, you can also control it with the crawl based crawling API. So these kind of solutions are out there in the market, and they yeah people use this kind of solution to to control the JS rendering. Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is, how does Crawlbase optimize web scraping, and why will someone use a third-party solution?
Yeah, so the answer I will answer it the same as the previous one. Like when you are getting this kind of flexibility, like if you are creating your own system like this, you will be you are spending a lot of money on the on that particular project you are creating. So also, when you talk about third-party APIs, you should must ensure that how reliable they are, how good their success rate are. Like if you see in the crawl base, yeah, they do IP rotation in the backend. So when we are talking about IP rotation, then there is a maximum chance of success calls. Like you will be not getting captchas. Don't have to worry about IP blocking. So that's why Crawlbase is very reliable. And if you are trying to create or you are trying to go with the uh, you know uh, with the previous method we used, you will I don't think you will be more like successful, because you have to manage a lot of things. But if you want to get out of this headache and just want to get a solution which will just solve your all problems and you don't have to worry about anything when you are doing web scraping, then Crawlbase is the good option.
The next question is, how can we identify that a website is using JS rendering or not?
Okay, so when we are talking about GS branding, you can just go to that website. For example, let's take the same website example again. Okay,
Mhm.
so there's a trick which you through which you can check if the website is using GS branding or not. What you can do is like you can go to the setting and just disable the JavaScript. Okay, so once you disable the JavaScript, just reload the page. See if the all data is coming or not. See, the data
Yeah.
is not getting loaded.
Yeah.
So this is a simple trick to know if the website is using JS rendering or not.
Okay.
Either it is using a framework like React or Angular, or it is using Ajax calls.
Yeah.
So this is how simply you can check the uh, JS rendering. Let's
Yeah.
take another example. Let me show you one which is not using JS rendering.
Yeah.
So mm, okay, there's a website called who's.com. Okay, so this is already open. Okay, let's take the example of this page. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's disable JavaScript here. See if data gets load. You see, here
Yeah.
the data is coming.
Yeah.
So what this meant is they are putting all the information in all these
Mhm.
UIs getting rendered at the server side, not at the client side. So that's why you are seeing that.
So, Hassan, the next question is, what are the AJAX requests, and why is it important to handle them while scraping
Okay, so
website?
I will take the same example here. See, let's enable the enable the JS rendering. You know the JavaScript here on this website. Open your inspect tools and go to your network tab. We are already on network tab. Okay, and just refresh the page. Just see here, no XHR. These kind of requests are going there. There is a fetch call here. Let's see what this fetch is. Okay, so this is the data coming. from the from this fetch call. Okay,
Mhm.
so when we are talking about fetch call, we are talking about ajax call.
Mhm.
Like fetch is a, a new version of ajax call. Fetch is available in the javascript, pure javascript, so you don't have to use jquery like you
Mhm.
use for the ajax, but the fetch is also same as an ajax. So if the request is going after you are, after you are reloading the page,
Mhm.
what happen when you strike the url is like, when you reload from here, the call goes to the server. Okay, on the servers, everything's get loaded, but the website owner or developer wants you to show on the client side. And if the website is using ajax calls, then after the basic dom get loaded, these ajax calls fill that dom with the data. Okay, so you can easily check from here that there is a request going to fetch the data. It's a get request. Okay, and this is the URL.
Yeah.
And after that, this URL, in the response, you are getting the data. So if in the web scraping, if you are not handling these requests, how will you get the data? Okay, if this data is not coming from the backend and
Mhm.
it's not getting filled in that HTML, then you will be getting just a DOM structure, the simple HTML text. There will be no data inside it. So it's very important to handle AJAX calls, or the fetch calls, to make your web scraping worthable. Because without data, there is no need for web scraping.
So, Hassan, the next question is: how can we effectively bypass captcha and bot detection layers while data scraping?
Okay, so bot detection measures. If we are talking about bot detection measures and the captchas, you need to use different kind of methods to bypass them. Like why captcha appears on the website. First, you have to know about that thing. So when you are trying to, many of you people have witnessed that when you try to load the same page of a website multiple times, like in very short period of time, you see the captcha on it. Sometimes you are searching too much on the google.com, the Google search engine, and after some time you will see to tick a checkbox if you are human or not. Like that's a captcha. So from that, what you uh, get to know about it is like, if you are doing a multiple call to a particular website in short amount of time, it will flag you. It will flag your API, and their intelligence system will know that someone is trying to, uh, you know, uh, uh, overload our website. So what they do is like, to check if it's an actual person or not, they put the captcha on it. So to bypass it, you have to do the one method uh, people use too often these days is IP rotation. So what people do is like, they use pool of proxies, and every time they are requesting something to the from the website, they use different proxy, and with that proxy they hit the website. So the website system don't get to know about if it's the same person or not, because the proxy is changing your IP. So this kind of solution ensures that you don't get captured too often. Also, there are some websites are too intelligent that they can even give you captcha sometimes, even after using IP rotation. Then you have to choose some kind of system, intelligent systems, AI intelligent systems, artificial intelligence systems, like which can bypass captcha, or solve the captcha for you. So one of the solution out there is again the crawl base. They use the IP rotation in the backend, so which will ensure that you don't get flagged by their by captcha engine, or you don't your IP don't get blocked. because every time you are sending request to the Crawlbase crawling API, for example, you will be getting a new proxy, and through that proxy, Crawlbase will hit your request. So this way, you will have a maximum amount of success rate, and with the maximum amount of success rate, obviously you will get a lot of much more data than the conventional methods. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Hasan. The next question is what is rate limiting and IP blocking, and how can we overcome these issues?
Okay, so same, you need to use the third-party API solutions, or you either you have to create your one on your own.
Mhm.
Because when we are talking about IP blocking, it's the same like you are sending too much request to a particular API, and it's their system has flagged you like you are a robot. For example, if you are sending a request, 1,000 requests per minute to a particular API, no human can do that. So their system is in many website systems are very intelligent, and they can easily find you. Like this particular API is doing is overloading our website. It's not possible to for a human to send these kind of requests. So they can easily flag you, and once they flag you, they will block your IP. So this is why if sometimes you have faced like your IP is getting blocked. You see the messages like Cloudflare protection. Like sometimes you are reloading the website, and you see a Cloudflare flare screen which is showing that your IP is getting blocked. So this is their system is doing that. So to bypass that IP blocking, so you need the same solution, like you need proxies, smart proxies, or you need IP rotations. So with those solutions, you can just mimic like a real human, and with the new IP every time, you will get a more success rate. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Hasan. The next question is what are the ethical and legal consideration that businesses should abide by in web scraping?
Okay, so when we're talking about businesses and ethical considerations, then uh, the person who is scraping the website should follow multiple kind of multiple kinds of limits. So
Mhm.
first thing which you need to do is like follow their terms of services. Like if you are scraping some kind of website, you should abide by their TOCs, and after them, don't put too much load on their website, and try to be ethical, follow their different kind of files. Like we if people if some of you do web scraping, there is a report.txt file which we use, which crawlers use, like Google use for crawling the different pages of a particular website. You must follow that when you are doing web scraping. And be also check about the legality of your web scraping, the website you are trying to scrap, and how much data you are getting out of it, and what can be the legal issues it can cause to you. So yeah, taking the help of professional, I will suggest whenever you are trying to scrap something for your business requirements, you should take help from a business legal advisor, so that you don't face any problems afterward.
Yeah. Thank you, Hasan. The next question is what are the robots.txt files that web scraper or crawler often encounter?
Okay, so now when we talk about robot.txt files, let me share an example with you.
Yeah, sure.
So can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so when we talk about robot.txt file, so then we are talking about the URL which can be scrapped or not. So this particular robot.txt file tell about the URLs which we can scrap or we can crawl. So for example, if we take talk about Amazon, Amazon has a robot.txt file. Let's open it. Okay, so see here, this is an example of robot.txt file. Okay, so you see here, uh, it's written in a pattern like disallow, disallow. So whenever crawlers or web scrapers uh, go to this website, they will check this robot.txt file, and you can see here this URL is disallowed. So if it is disallowed, then you cannot scrap this URL. So even for the Google or Yahoo, the search engines are basically crawlers.
Hmm.
So when you will see that they will not get index these pages because they never crawled it, because Amazon don't want the crawlers to crawl these pages. But you will see here like these are allows. Okay,
Yeah.
these are disallowed. So this is basically a robot.txt file is telling you that which URLs you can scrap on a website, and which you should not. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Hassan. The next question is, what ethical considerations should organization be aware of when collecting and using sensitive data?
Okay, so when you are talking about sensitive data, always respect the privacy. Make sure that you follow privacy laws, and uh, abide by the rules of your government. Okay, so like in US you have a different kind of laws in different states. You should respect them. Also it will be good if you get the consent, like you ask for the permission before scraping the data. Like many website, many researchers do web scraping for different kinds of their research. But what they do is like they first ask for the permission to the website owners. This is a very good practice, and maybe he will let you scrap his data with his uh, he will allow you to get the data. Also, only collect data which you need. Like if you are scraping the data only for the personal use, be in that limit. Don't try. If you find something which can give you a profit, it maybe give you the profit on for some time, but in the long run you can face the legal issues. Okay, and keep the data safe. Once you scrap the data from the website, always try to keep it safe. Don't put it on the online systems, like don't use it for your commercial purposes. Always respect their data. Yeah, like data is the money, and
Yeah.
if you are exploiting his money, and he will be after you. So also when you are talking about keeping data safe, then we also talk about use data responsibly. This is one of the main factors. Many people who do web scraping don't use data with data responsibly. What this mean is like you are using their data very harshly. You are putting it online. You know, if some company has spent a lot of money on something, he will not let you go. So be in ethical do web scraping in ethical manners, and always follow the laws of your government and terms of services of the website, so that you don't face any consequences after it. Yeah.
Uh, Thank you, Hassan. The next question is, what are some effective strategies that e-commerce businesses can use to monitor competitor price in real time?
Okay, so when we are talking about e-commerce businesses, they can use different kinds of software to monitor prices. One of them is like they can use web scraping tools. They can create their systems, like they can if they want to only do price analysis, like different kinds of websites. for example, Amazon, eBay, they can create web scrapers for them, and based on the data they are scraping, they can create their intelligent system on that. Also, they can use price monitoring softwares, which also works on web scraping. Like there are ready-to-use tools also available on in the market. What they are doing is like they are doing web scraping for you, and using their interface, using their software interface, you can easily get the data which you are looking for. So this is also that solution. Then you can use APIs as well. There are a lot of APIs available online which you can use for price analysis. Also, you can manually check. That's a basic rule. Like if you are doing price analysis, you can basically check uh, in a time frame about the prices, or what are the ranges, or what are the, what are the changes in the prices. Similarly, there are also browser extensions based on web scraping which you can use with the browsers, which can help you in price analysis. Yeah, so I think anyone who wants to do price analysis for e-commerce, he can get a lot of solution out there, and I will prefer like the third-party APIs like Crawlbase crawling API. You can use it and you can create your own system, which you can update as per your requirement. So yeah, there are a lot of solutions out there.
Yeah. Thank you, Hassan. The next question is, how can researchers ensure ethical and legal compliance when using web scraping technique for data collection in academic research?
Okay, when we talk about researchers, and they are doing web scraping for their research, so they need a lot of data. For example, if there is a data scientist and he is trying to do something with the data, he needs data because data is the baseline of their algorithms
Mhm.
or things they are training. Like they create sentiment analysis or tools. I have got a lot of did a lot of work uh, in ML, machine learning, and when we talk about these kind of things, you need data. So a lot of researchers do web scraping, but I will give them like I will give them suggestion like always review the website policies. Like what they do is like they just go to the website, and most of the time they are not looking at the website policies. Some websites don't allow something to scrap, but they scrap it, and once they create the system, they face legal issues like you cannot use it, or they lose the marks uh, sometimes. So I will suggest them to always review the website policies, always, most of the time, try to obtain permissions from the website owner. All because many people I see the website owners, I see like they give the permission if you are doing it for the study purposes. So you can always ask them for the permission. Also follow the legal regulations. Don't go out of legal regulations. Like if your state has some kind of restrictions, don't breach them.
Mhm.
Okay, and always try to minimize data collection. Don't go like harsh on the website, and uh, put too much load on the website, so that it get down. So most of the when you are like hurting the business of the website, it will hurt you. Like if you are if you are making the website go slow, then they will try to find the causes and you will get flagged. So always try to be ethical. Okay, also rate limits are very important. Don't put too much traffic on a particular website when you're trying to scrap the data. And after you scrap the data, make it secure. Like don't put it on internet or something somewhere else where other people can see it, and you will easily get identified, or it cause a business loss to the website. Yeah.